Hey everyone, this is Josh Hayward and welcome to episode 91 of the Find Your Craft Show. We're actually on episode 4 of the Sierra Nevada Experimental Hop Pack Brews. I've been going through these for the last couple of weeks or so. I actually stumbled across this pack in late January, was kind of down on myself with the fact that I did not know Sierra Nevada was doing this, but that was short-lived as I was just so excited to find it. Found the last pack in the store, grabbed it, and have definitely enjoyed these brews. A little bit of background on this particular set, this particular hop pack. Sierra Nevada went out to the Pacific Northwest where they have all the great hop farms and actually selected some experimental hops. Some of these hops, most of these hops actually aren't even on the market yet. They don't even have names. A lot of them are hybrids of some of the hops that we have in the market now. But they went ahead and grabbed a bunch of these and combined them and did different things and created some very unique brews. Thus far, we've taken a look at the hop IPA, experimental hop IPA, the hop Pilsner, the double IPA, and tonight we have the hop session IPA. So again, a very different beer. Each one of these are very, very different. The IPA kind of being the standard, your middle-of-the-road IPA, still very flavorful, great hop aromas and flavors in that beer. The hop Pilsner I described as the yard beer or the lawnmower beer, just a great, light, refreshing, crisp beer. Everything you could want in a Pilsner with some amazing hoppy flavors. The double IPA being a little bit heavier, came in around 7 something percent, 67 IBUs, a little more hoppy, little more heavy. Definitely more of a heavy beer than the other two. And tonight we have the hop session IPA. So the session beer usually fall within the 4 point some odd percent category. This will be a lighter beer than a standard IPA, but more bitter and more dry than a standard pale ale. Session beers are becoming more and more popular, especially in the IPA circles or the IPA lover circles, because a lot of times folks want that hoppy kick, those hoppy flavors in a lighter type beer. You can enjoy more of them if you're outside, playing or working or whatever. You can enjoy them without having to sit down for a while, I should say. But oftentimes you find folks able to enjoy more of them. A very famous session IPA is the All Day IPA from Founders Brewing, another great IPA out there. But this is the hop session IPA from the experimental hop pack from Sierra Nevada. So we're going to have a little bit lighter of a beer than the IPA, but still those great hoppy flavors on display. And I love session beers, actually. I used to not like them. I used to feel like I was getting cheated in a way. And now I have since converted. There have been so many great session beers to come out on the market as of late. Just lots of great things are being done. Breweries are really coming out of their shell, so to speak, with the session beer and putting a lot of great stuff out there. Brews that don't sacrifice on flavor by any means. The old feeling of, hey, I'm getting cheated out of a beer, it's not the case anymore. These beers don't sacrifice on flavor. So here we are. We've got a beautiful straw color. If I had to pick what this would be like out of any of the other brews, I would say it was most like the Pilsner as far as the color goes. I'd say a pale straw for sure. I would say translucent. I can see through it, but there's still a little bit of haze in there. That Pilsner was completely transparent. You could see through it. I remember taking a picture of the beer in the glass here, and you could see straight through it to the pack there. But there's a little bit of haze in here. You can see that CO2 rising to the top. Strong white head. Again, we've had that in every one of these brews. The prominent white head on these beers. I would say the double IPA kind of had more of an off-white head. But nice frothiness there for sure. A lighter beer, definitely. And again, the lighter beer, it's going to lend to being a session. You're going to have less malt used in the brew, less malt, less fermentable sugars, less alcohol content. I believe this one comes in at 4.5, 4.6, something like that. I think the IBUs are in the 40s as well. So a couple of stats on that. But yeah, just a beautiful brew. I would say that straw color again, kind of going more towards the yellow. I think it's more towards the golden, I should say. The lightest has definitely been that Pilsner. This is taking another step towards the darker side. So let's see what we've got on the nose. Oh, wow. The big thing I'm getting in here is some great herbal and grassy type hop notes. That's what's kind of prominent here. I'll go back, reference our regular hop IPA. I kind of reference the fresh herbs that you may use when you cook. I feel like I'm smelling that again. You know, you're using fresh green herbs when you cook. I'm getting that grassy green type, fresh, like fresh cut grass type notes here. Not getting much as far as the malts go. That's to be expected, being a lighter type beer. But I'm just freshness. Like I sniff this and I feel like I've gone to the supermarket or to the grocery store and picked up herbs and I'm just sniffing them. Yeah, this is going to be good. I can already, just getting the aromas of this kind of sets up what you're going to expect in the taste. And again, I think we're moving towards another great lawnmower beer here, another great yard beer as I call them. Just something that is fresh and clean and light. And I'm tired of talking about it. I want to taste it. So cheers. Wow, another great brew. This is a good one too. I'm going to use the other brews to kind of compare because we've been through them thus far. This is definitely a little more malt forward than that Pilsner beer for sure. It's an ale too, which you're going to have a little bit different characteristics there, less crisp. Also just a different fermentation character as well. But more malty than the Pilsner, but less malty than the IPA for sure. It's light, it's easy drinking. But there's no sacrifice whatsoever on the hoppy kick here. Lots of great hop notes in this. Not an overly bitter beer. It's got a pleasant bitterness that invites you to take another sip. I could down this easily just because it tastes so fresh. Again, as far as the hops go, I'm reminded of those fresh herbs again. I keep going back to the yard beer because I feel like I'm out in the yard. I feel like I'm smelling and tasting grass. So I feel like I'm smelling grass and cutting grass, and you're smelling that scent, that aroma as I drink this beer. Just so fresh. Some of those notes kind of remind me of that hop Pilsner a little bit. As far as going back to the maltiness again, as far as that maltiness goes, I'd say like a white bready type maltiness. Again, heavier than the Pilsner. More the malt flavor is more prominent than the Pilsner, but less prominent than the IPA, and that's true to the style for sure. There is a pleasant dryness in this beer as I continue to talk. There's a little bit of dryness on the backside of the palate, which is nice, and it just makes you want to take another sip of this fresh beer. I can't escape that vision of going to the supermarket, grabbing the fresh herbs and smelling them, or I don't know, making like a shake with like fresh herbs and stuff. I don't know. It's just very fresh. I'm thinking thyme and mint, some of those green type herbs that you will use in your cooking. But a very good beer here. Another great one. Every one of these beers has been great. Every one of these beers has been unique in their own way, kind of pushing the envelope, so to speak, on the style and then also on the hop flavors. These hop flavors have been a challenge because they're not things that you typically see in the market. A lot of times you taste an IPA, you say, oh, citrus or oh, pine or tropical fruits or whatever. But these have been kind of a cross and hybrid and kind of a combination of different things. Something else I'm kind of thinking about as I continue to talk is kind of the bitterness that comes from a rind and a citrus fruit. I'm kind of reminded of that a little bit with this beer, which is kind of nice. But again, the predominant thing again is that herbal type hop variety. But yeah, just another winner here. Cheers to Sierra Nevada on this entire experimental hop pack. I loved it. I love what they're doing. I love what they do year in and year out with their different types of variety packs and different types of things that they do. If you've had any of these beers, let me know what you think. I've seen a few of them. A few folks actually find this hop pack online, and it's been interesting kind of bouncing ideas off of one another and kind of getting that feedback, because they are definitely something we haven't seen before. So thank you all so much for following along. This has been a blast. I've enjoyed going through it. Episode 91 is in the books. Episode 4 of the Experimental Hop Pack is in the books. Thank you so much for following along. Cheers to you guys.